So you see, many people ask how to meditate, how to achieve Samadhi, how to achieve concentration. So each person gives these words certain meaning. So there is no meditation, there is no Samadhi, there is no true contemplation, like a prolonged contemplation, without awakening to the ultimate reality of self, which is one's equanimous being. Even though it is embedded in us, it is our natural way of being, since we have degraded to this point that our mind is scattered through dual or even multiple perceptions. When I think we're not just living in duality, we're living in some kind of a multiple reality of self rather than duality, because we already divided duality into so many hues, or shades. We have the different shades of black and different shades of white, So our reality is not anymore even duality, because it's not just about good or bad, it's about different intermediate states of self and perceptions of self. And because all these perceptions are not they are kind of as if existing independently, because they have the power, or we have empowered it enough to delude us and mislead us, and we become addicted to certain phenomena, or we give more importance to one phenomena over the other. So we are not in a natural being observing phenomena. We are constantly driven by different phenomena through an urge to act, to express self. So we are very much externalized in our perception. And so even though contemplation is our natural being, because we are supposed to, we might do some agricultural work or something else, hunting maybe in ancient times, or do some plantation or something like that. Yet most of the time people were contemplating. They were sitting on the riverbanks, on the banks of the lake, of a lake or sea or ocean, and would just contemplate, or they would just sit together and be. So we no longer have that privilege, because we have gone far from our natural being. And so contemplation now became a certain practice. Yet our natural being is not about practice. Even if you try to sit quietly with your eyes closed, with a nice posture in the lotus position, for instance, you might not be able to contemplate, because your mundane thoughts or some kind of emotions will drag you into creation of stories about whatever you experience in your daily life, or you will go into memories and try to analyze what's happening with you. But contemplation is more of a passive observation, where you are withdrawn into a more neutral perception of self and the phenomenal reality. And contemplation may happen any time when you observe something passively, or you walk in the nature. So the same goes with meditation. Meditation, in fact, in Sanskrit known as dhyan, or in Buddhist tradition, Tian, I think, or in Japan, it's known as Zen. So, in fact, meditation can never be practiced. If something is practiced, it's no longer meditation. You may practice concentration. Yes, you may try to concentrate your mind on something. Yet the actual fruit of spiritual awakening is effortless, spontaneous, natural being, which is meditative absorption, natural meditative absorption, which is called Sahaj Dhyana, Sahaj Samadhi. And different scriptures, different rishis use different words to describe meditation or contemplation. And that's why sometimes there's a confusion. People think that they have to achieve dhyan or dharan according to Patanjali, or it has to be samyana or samadhi or something else, or there are different stages people create. In fact, once you really awake to your natural being, meditation becomes but a natural being of yours. Yet how long you may maintain it at the beginning, it's questionable. Because if you give more importance to the external phenomena, it will drag you out of meditative natural state very quickly. But if you surrender whatever phenomenal reality offers you, all the worries, all the imaginary drama, you surrender it into that equanimous being, or in other words, it's the space of self. You just observe reality in a neutral way. The perception refines through this being, and you see as if those phenomenal temporary things, transitory things, don't have that much meaning. Maybe they have some importance for you now, or maybe for some particular area of your life, but in fact, when you surrender into your personal space of self being, everything just loses its meaning. Yet gradually you learn to integrate the contemplative being, the natural being, with the phenomenal reality, and try to integrate action with the being. Yet most of the people look for action-driven spirituality, where they have to meditate, they have to go somewhere, they have to meet someone, so they cannot accept the fact that this is their natural being. So they're always on a quest. They're always looking for conquer, for escaping, for achieving. And until we have these delusional ideas about meditation, spirituality, until we dream of some attainment of samadhi, we miss out the biggest point. It's our natural being. It is not something to conquer, to achieve, to get from someone, to escape from one to the other. Until there is the idea of escaping, achieving, there is duality. There is dual perception. Something is not holy, something is holy. Something is bad, something is good. Something is draining me, something is going to fulfill me. But the ultimate being is neither draining nor fulfilling. It is content in itself as it is. And that is nothing to describe. But once you start separating one neutral phenomena into, or seeing this phenomena through different perceptions, whether it's a negative or positive, or you create a story, you go away from your natural spiritual being. And you create a story of spirituality. You create illusion of spirituality, rather than see spirituality as your own being now, here, without future projection or seeing things through someone else's past. We cannot see life and reality through other people's past or through their past perception, even if they were enlightened beings. We have to discover a natural being. We have to stop projecting, seeing someone on a pedestal, or trying to attain something or achieve something, because this is spiritual action. We see everything as a career, as a spiritual achievement, yet spirituality is not about achievement, it's about being. And that's what's so difficult to grasp, because people want complexity. They want magical paradigms. They want different kind of recipes. They want some kind of action and exercise. And that's why there is a full spiritual market of all kinds of false, degraded models of action, spiritual action. But no one seems to really experience their natural being. No one seemed to integrate, even if they experienced something as a glimpse, no one seemed to know how to integrate it within their being. They would rather deny their body, or they would renounce the world. But you cannot renounce the world. You are the world. You can refine perception of the world. And you don't need to renounce anything. Renounce your interpretation of the world. Surrender it into the equanimous space of being and see that the world is beautiful. It's natural. Everything within it is just natural. And just by thinking like this, you plunge into absorption and natural contemplation.